I'm on my lunch break, and I'm sitting there eating peacefully, and I have this kid come out, and he sits down right next to me, and he starts talking. No big deal, talking back and forth, blah blah blah. Before he starts talking, he sits there for the longest time and just kind of watches me and watches me and watches me. I turn to him first, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? Oh, what's going on? I speak, I'm kind of eating here. He's like, oh, I was just talking about all sorts of things and running around, and I was thinking about all the people across the land, and there's all these people that aren't eating. And I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, I'm on my lunch break here, and are you trying to, make me feel guilty about something, about, being able to place food in my mouth? Because earlier, um, I almost didn't have enough cash to even buy what I'm eating here at the lunch table. You know, went through a whole bunch of problems at work, and I'm sitting here and I'm enjoying my lunch. And he's like, oh, well, there's people starving everywhere, and there's nothing that we can do. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, hey, that's great, but I know that I'm like, almost 15 years older than you, and I've heard that same speech over and over again. I don't need to have a meeting with my grandma or my mom and have all this guilt placed upon me just so that I can remember that there's people overseas that can't really feed themselves. I'm like, hey, if you don't really have much to say, at least say something that's on your mind instead of giving me a public service announcement. Because these persons that walk around and don't say anything except for public service announcements and the same old crud, it's like, hey, are you a real person, or are you just an automaton with no personality whatsoever? You walk around with the same thing in your head all the time, and that's all you've got is a bunch of advertisements. I mean, hey, unless I'm addressing something and I feel personal about it, or I feel like it needs to be said, I don't run around telling everybody the same stuff that mom and dad had been telling me since before I was born, and while I was growing up. I've already heard that there's people overseas and they can't really eat and they're hurting. And I'm not saying that I don't feel for them. At the same time, I'm not going to feel guilty while I'm placing food in my mouth and eating, because I don't need to be distracted while I eat. It's kind of crazy, and I know it sounds really, really cold. It's just, I don't mean to be the antagonist sometimes, but sometimes you have to defend yourself when it comes to somebody telling you something really negative when you're doing something really good for yourself. Another thing, I'm on my lunch break and I run off. I go outside. I'm enjoying a breath of fresh air. Kid walks over to me and he goes, hey, there's so many persons and everybody, they don't really like smoking, blah blah blah. They don't like people walking around smoking cigarettes in public. And I'm just like, hey, kid, can you let me enjoy my cigarette on my lunch break so I don't have to deal with all this? I'm like, who assigned you to run around and tag along with me and tell me about the same old crap that I've heard all my life? Why don't you go and make the pact with somebody? How about your own child? Go and make the pact with your own somebody and tell them not to do it. Because I'm enjoying my smoke here. And that's the thing. I'm sitting here enjoying my cigarette, and after I smoke this one, I'm going to smoke another. And that's the problem with all these people. They run around telling you the same old thing, and all these things that they've already placed in the 80s. It's like, hey, I can understand if you're still in high school or you're still in in elementary school. You're still getting your education. You're still going through your little DARE program or your little thing. But I'm enjoying my smoke. I've already gone through all these things, and I'm not going to teach them because I'm not the guy that's going to tell you how to do things. It's like, if you're going to do anything whatsoever, keep yourself smoke free. How about that? It's like, I wanted to turn the kid and say, hey, I just returned from volunteering to serve my country. Do you mind if I have my cigarette on my own so I don't have to deal with it, deal with hearing your repetitive speech every single day? Because this atomic, this is what you do and this is what you say type of dealing and sensory is crazy. I wanted to turn to the kid and say, hey, isn't that your mom that just got out of that car? You know, the kid would probably say, yeah, that's my mom that just got out of that man's car. I say, isn't that guy that I always see your mom with? He's like, yeah. Yeah, well, why is she giving him $20?